She is head IP and portfolio of Dr. IP Essence. She is one of my students who I had taught her MSc Analytical Chemistry when I was working in Usmania University College for Women. I feel honor actually, and also proud that today the resource person is one of my students. Thank you, Pushpa, for accepting our invitation and being as a resource person for today's session. Madam is going to present today on the session on the topic role of IT in development of our nation. I request now all the participants, please mute yourself. Please don't disturb. And now I invite Vaishnavi to introduce our speaker, today's speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm honored to introduce Dr. N. Pushpalata, ma'am, Head of IP and Portfolio, experienced intellectual property rights specialist with a demonstrated history of working in the research industry like Dr. Reddy's Laboratory and reputed legal consultant firms. She has a strong academic background with a doctorate degree in chemistry from Usmania University with 7 international publications. She is also pursuing LLB from Usmania University. She is having rich hands-on experience in all aspects of patent and portfolio management. Experience in handling patent and portfolio management for APIs, formulations, NCEs, FMGCs, chemicals, polymers, and life sciences. With overall experience spanning over 17 years, she worked on product strategy, product selection, portfolio management, IP creation, IP production, IP commercialization, IP portfolio management, IP strategy, IP licensing, innovation management, and etc. Creation of patent families from technology patent financing, patent drafting, patent filling, patent processing, negotiation, and preparation of various agreements, IP training, and IPR team building. Her core strength is product selection and product strategy based on the business model of the company. She is a visiting faculty at National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, NIPER, Hyderabad. She is also one of the speakers in national conference in the field of IP. Having very good connections with the patent office, IPAB codes, she is a recipient of IP Excellence Award in top 10 women contributors in IP and listed in Powerful Women in IP 2021 by World Intellectual Property Forum, got selected for World IP Review 2022, UK WIPR 2022, and IM Strategy 300 in UK. All RBVRR students are honored and privileged to have you here, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that short intro. I'm very glad to see you all after an year almost. Thank you, ma'am. And my sincere thank you to the college management for giving me this opportunity. And my sincere greetings and good morning to all of you. First of all, I want to tell you that today it is celebrated across the globe, and today it is called as a World IP Day. And this is in the honor of to celebrate the energy, curiosity, and the creativity of all the young innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers in all the nations across the globe. Okay, so I feel very glad to present my small presentation to you regarding the IP on this very day. By taking the short intro about the significance of this presentation,
yes,
I want to tell you that. Yeah.
Jason. You join here. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So I want to tell you that IP education and training at many university levels and academic institutions are like hotbeds of innovation and creativity. You know, we understand that the innovators or the scientists don't just come up as soon as they enter into the industries. That end, that cut in the brain, or that edge in the mind will be there from the very academic institutions. Okay, so when you are still at a student level or researchers level, you will inculcate that mindset to become future innovators. That's why it is very important to know about the values of various intellectual property rights regimes. Okay, and we see that at least 3 different groups within the universities that could get benefit from IP awareness and understanding of it. They could be like a staff at university, including researchers and students who are attending these various workshops, and also any companies which lies as spin-outs which are located within the campus of various universities. Okay, so let me start with the slide 1. So see, as the topic itself reflects that we are now knowing about intellectual property rights. The intellectual property rights takes its main role where there is an idea. Okay, so any intellect or any person who is having any idea regarding the new thing or regarding the new innovation will do what? They will give a shape to their idea in the form of research. Okay, they sit on their laboratory experimental bench and they carry out various experiments, and they will draw some conclusions to the research. Okay, so upon getting results of their experiments, whether it could be in any field of sciences, not just pharmaceutical, it could be in computer related field or in electronics, mechanical, anything. The very first motto is having an idea. Okay, so by just having an idea and performing the experiments which are suitable to draw the conclusions, we will get all the results. Okay, and the next step after getting the results of your ideology is to frame it in a manner which is appropriately understandable. Okay, so if you get the experimental results, you have to approach an IP specialist. Okay, and you should fully disclose your experimental data along with the full procedure. Okay, so when you go and approach any IP specialist and you disclose your innovation or idea or research work, they will do a thorough review of your work. Okay, and after reviewing the full procedure, if they feel that it is appropriate and in line and length to the to get any IP protection, then they will further move to file the applications. It could be anything. Okay, I also want to tell you all, I hope you all must be knowing, but still I just want to tell you all that the very first definition of intellectual property rights are the rights which the government of our country gives to us to protect the intellectual work or the work which has been originated from the intellect or the human mind is nothing but intellectual property rights. Okay, so intellectual property rights will help you if you have done with some patents. For example, most of you are from computers background, if I am correct. If you have developed a new software, and if you want to protect your software, or if you have developed a new process of production of any chemical molecule, and if you want to protect your procedure or research work, then in that instance, you need to have this thorough idea about IPR. Okay, so then what is the funda in doing all this? What you will get by protecting all this means, when you protect it and get grant and have the rights of it, you can commercialize your products. It could be software, it could be any chemical procedure, anything. Okay, so you can commercialize it, whereby you can generate a lot of revenue out of it. Okay, and let me tell you, see, what is the whole advantage of doing all this means. See, if I have an idea and developed some research work and I have carried it out, and if I have been granted a patent for it, what I will do? See, for example, let us take latest scenario where many of the Indian companies have developed vaccination for COVID, right? So in that instance, if a company develops some new entity or some new molecule for any kind of disease, and if I get a grant of that particular invention, what I will do? I will try to produce it at larger scale in the production units, right? So doing a research work in the laboratory on a bench scale is on a smaller scale, and repeating the same thing in production plant units of any industry is to produce it in that kind of situation. What I am doing is I will be recruiting many of the people to carry out or to fulfill my target, right? So with that, what is happening? I will be creating much of employment to both the educated people and other middle level educated people also, so whereby it is like creating employment to the citizens of the country. So this is a significance of intellectual property rights. I hope got it. Everyone got it. Okay. So if we look at various kinds of intellectual property rights, actually there are many kinds of intellectual property rights, but among them, these are the four main basic important intellectual property rights. Okay, and those are patents, designs, trademarks, and copyrights. I hope you all must have come across at least one of these terms. Okay, so we all know the term patents because it was since past 2 years. Okay, so patents are those kind of intellectual property which is being given to any inventor for developing an invention having the criteria of patentability. The invention which has the norms or which can be protected as patents can be protected as patents. Okay. For example, if I take a simple example for your understanding, if I take a Coca-Cola bottle, which we all know it, whatever the chemical formula or the composition inside the particular drink can be protected as patents. Okay, the chemical composition, the method, how it is being prepared, in what composition, how the reaction has been performed, all those can be protected as patents. Okay, and designs is nothing but the external outlook, the shape of that particular bottle could be protected as simple designs. Okay, and the trademarks. Okay, see, you all know that various products are being sold under various trademarks. That's Coca-Cola's trademark is Coca-Cola itself. It is written in italic fashion, right? So that particular word is protected as trademark for that company. Okay, And the other one is copyrights. See how the labeling of that particular bottle is designed, in what fashion, what color, what are the various information present on that particular label will all fall under copyrights category. So this is a simple example I just want to tell you all, because you all are aware with these basic things. Okay, so if you take any product in any kind of field of sciences, whether it could be not just Coca-Cola, even if you take a simple TV or a mobile phone, for that instance, anything in any field of sciences, not just chemical. Okay, so if you take any product, you will come across these kind of intellectual property rights being protected on behalf of that particular company. So this is the significance of intellectual property rights. Okay, we must know that patents are protected. If once patents are being granted, they will be protected for a period of 20 years. So the owner of the patents will have that monopoly rights for 20 years. For 20 years, no other person can use that particular patent invention without the knowledge or prior permission from the inventor. Okay, and the same thing, everything, even the trademarks are also, they plays a very crucial role in brand promotion of any product. Okay, see, just by seeing it some few words, there is a symbol for McDonald's. Just by people can recognize that this is a brand of McDonald's, right? So in the same fashion, if you see various kinds of regimes of intellectual property rights, we can know that that particular product is related to what and who is the owner. Okay, so these are the various significances of various kinds of intellectual property rights. I hope you all got the basic very information about IPR by now. Okay, so and you must know, I will ask you, see, if you and me are there, you are sitting over there and I am sitting here, we don't know each other face to face, but still, if there is an idea in our brains which is of same kind, and if I am performing the research work at my own place, and if you are also carrying out the same work at your place, then what? There will be a conflict of IP, right? If I am developing the same research results and you are also getting the same research results by carrying out or by working on a particular issue, then who will be the owner of that particular invention? So the person whoever first try to apply to protect that particular IP will be deemed as the true and first inventor of your intellectual property rights according to our IP law. Okay, so whoever first try to file or protect or approach the Indian Patent Office to protect them will become the first and true inventor. If I come and say, see, I have started my bench work in 2015 only, but whereas you have started your bench work in 2020, it will not fetch anything to me. If you approach first than me to protect the IP, you will be the owner. So this is the significance of the sense of time in maintaining the IP. So as soon as we have some idea and if we conclude with some basic results, we should take that initiation or steps to protect our IP. So even in your college level also, if you have any idea and if you have some basic information or basic results of your research work, you better protect it at a basic level only. You should not think that after 4 or 5 years or after coming out of colleges, you will work somewhere to make it at a bigger range of results. You should not think like that, because don't know where from and how the IP may leak out, or even some else person and some else place also the same experiment might be going on. See, this world is a very big one and many professionals will be there in any field of science. Okay, so that's why you should take immediate steps to protect your IP. Okay, so if you take, if we want to know exclusively about patents, let me tell you that, as I already told you, it will be protected for 20 years. Okay, and trademarks will be protected for 10 years, and it can be renewed after that for every 10 years. In the same way, design patents can be protected for 15 years. Okay, and copyrights will be protected for 60 years, or it can be said as whole lifetime of the author. So if you take patents exclusively, a patent is nothing but it is a techno-legal document. Okay, so you all must be knowing your research papers. You must have seen basic research papers. Okay, you must have seen various articles, short communications or manuscripts, etc. Okay, so a patent is also a more or less similar type which resembles with your basic research publications. Okay, but it differs in a smaller way. Okay, and to be patented for any innovation, they requires these criteria. That is, first one is novelty. Novelty means anything which is new, which is nowhere present in the world till date. That can be said as novel. Okay, and the other criteria for an innovation to be patented is non-obviousness. For example, if I am using some solvent, say methanol in my experiments, and if some other person come and use ethanol in place of methanol, and if he want to claim it as a new invention, then it is not allowed. As per our law, as per our patent law, it will not be allowed, because any minimum skilled person in the field of sciences can expect ethanol in place of my methanol. Okay, so these kind of petty inventions will not be allowed in our patent law. There are exceptions where they are allowed, but usually on basic grounds they are not allowed. Okay, so this is the second criteria. And the other one is utility. See, when there is an invention and when you are approaching the government for getting a patent granted, the government will ask you, what is the advantages of your invention? It should be useful to the country, it should be useful to the field of science, and it should be useful to the humans at large, right? It should be industrially applicable. See, you are performing all your experiments in a small laboratory on a bench, right? So the same invention should be able to carry out on a large scale in production units. Okay, because sometimes the results will vary when compared to the small scale laboratory work to the production scale. So the experimental procedure should be able to repeated on a large scale also, and that should have some technical advantages also. Okay, it must be your invention must be technically advantageous. Okay, and economical significance of it also should be there. See, if there is already an invention being granted which is showing some use of all raw materials at cheaper cost, and if you have come up with the procedure which is very costly, then in that instance also the patent officers, I mean the controller and the examiners of Indian Patent Office will ask you, they will put questions to you that it is not economically significant. So when it is a costly affair, they will not show interest or they will not be positive to grant you a patent. Okay, so these are the basic criteria for any innovation or invention to get the grant of the patent. Okay, so and if we see the various steps involved or superficial steps, I'm not going in detail. Okay, so these are the superficial steps which are there to follow to get the to reach the point of patent. Okay, See, if you are working in your colleges also, you will be starting your work by taking some particular area, right? See, if you are working on some chemicals, you will be choosing some hypnotics or antidepressants like that. So you are fixing a portfolio, means you are just narrowing down your focus of work. Okay, so first of all, you will fix your portfolio ready. Okay, then from that portfolio also, you will pick up a particular product to work upon, which could be very feasible to carry on. In the sense, that particular product which is having high demand in the market and which is highly used by various people. Okay, and it should have a high sales, it should have high consumptions. So basing upon all the data like this, we will select a product to work. Okay, and upon selection of that particular product, we will prepare a landscape report. Landscape report is a kind of document wherein we will note down, we will put the data from all the available patents which are active patents and also the patents which are already expired related to that particular product. Okay, so by looking at the landscape report, an IP person can draw the conclusion that these are all the patents which are still active and they are alive, and these are the of patents which are expired already, in the sense they have crossed that limit of 20 years. So by having the information about active patents and inactive patents in the hand, a researcher can wisely choose an appropriate procedure to develop that particular product. Okay, and by looking at the chemistry and various steps involved in that particular process and the various chemicals and reagents which are being used to develop the process, various factors will be seen by the chemist. Okay, and after that they will develop a new process for preparation by using their intellect. Okay, and after that, if the IP professional conclude that that very new process is nowhere present in the world with that particular scheme, then it can be further pushed to file the patent. So these are the basic superficial steps which are involved in filing a patent. Okay, so after filing a patent, the next important thing which is to be carried out is maintenance of patent. Let me tell you, as a granted patent will be active for 20 years, the owner of the patent should maintain it by paying the annual renewal fees every year to the government of India. Okay. So this is about patent maintenance. And see, you all are at college level right now, right? So anything you develop at college level will be on a smaller scale only, right? And in that case, to get more advantages of your invention, you need to get into licensing. If you have a patent, you can get into licensing with other giant companies or other institutions for that matter, and for various other innovators also. So that is commercialization. You can commercialize your, means you can sell your, or you can get into license with other people. Thereby what will happen? You will get the reimbursement or the royalties, right? So if you have an invention which has been patented, and if you sell your patent or license your patent to some other people who are having that setup with them to produce that invented product on large scale, they will take your invention, and what you will get in return, you will get that royalties. Certain amount of percent on the sales of that particular product will be given to you. So this is the basic outline, superficial steps which are involved and which tells you the advantages of protection of your inventions as patents. Okay. So, see, once you get a patent granted, these are all the rights which the government of India incur upon you. You can make it, you can use it for your own purpose, and you can exercise it, means you can carry out various other improvements, additions, etc., of your research work, right? And you can sell it, you can sell the product, okay, and you can distribute that particular invention within India. If you want to cross the border and if you want to sell your product outside, there are various regulatory permissions which need to be taken. But if you want to use within India, you are free to do so. You are permitted as soon as you get a patent granted. Okay, so these are the advantages. We are talking about getting a grant of the patent for your invention till now, but let me tell you, there are certain kinds of inventions which are not patentable, which are not allowed to protect in our country. Actually, these are specific to the nations throughout the world. Each country has their own patent laws, which tells which stress points upon this particular title. Okay, and if I am talking about particularly about India, so these are the various listed inventions which cannot be patented. See, as you are, most of you are all from computers background, let me tell you that as per Indian patent law, simple software development cannot be protected. It cannot be patented in India unless otherwise it is coupled to a hardware. Okay, it must be coupled to some hardware, then it will function. If it can show the results outcome, then it can be patented. But yes, computer softwares can be protected in countries like US. Okay, see, you can see from this particular slide, medical, surgical, and diagnostic treatment methods are also not patentable. See, when you go to doctor, he will prescribe you to take medicines on a basis. See, the doctor may say that to take this particular tablet 3 times a day of 20 mg. So this is a kind of method of treatment. So this particular kind of things are also not patentable in India. I just want you to know that these are all the, see, usually as a student level, you might be thinking that any invention or anything that is new can be protected, but not. It is not the same. There are inventions which are not patentable. Okay. And even method of agriculture and horticulture are also not patentable. See, we Indians are largely based, dependent on agriculture, right? Agriculture and farming. So if Indian government grant that particular opportunity to protect even agricultural methods also, the poor farmers will suffer a lot and there will be a depriving agriculture products, right? So Indian government, the law system in every care by granting the patents to the innovators and by balancing the system at the national level. Okay, this is the greatness of our lawmakers. So, see, I will tell you now more about Indian success. India, we all know that India is emerging as a new hub for foreign patent filings also, right? Even we are filing our patents in US also, Europe also. Okay, even foreigners are also protecting their IP in India. With this, what happens? We get revenue. Our Indian government will get revenue in the process of filing and protecting the patents, right? And this is mainly because in India, the investment which cost will be very low.
We are having exam.
And the infrastructure facilities are well established in our country. Okay, and there are many taxes exemption schemes also provided by the government of India. Okay, and many more facilities are there. See, if you are at student level, if you don't know how to proceed for filing a patent or how to proceed further to protect your invention, you can approach IP facilitators. They are the IP specialists, specially recruited by the government of India, who will help you at a very low cost or almost no cost. So being at a student level, if you have any charges, is a big task for you. So you will get the guidance and it will be at a very cheaper or no price status. Okay. So apart from these benefits, the Indian government is also constantly putting various efforts like liberalizing foreign policies. There are many foreign policies which restrict the protection of patents in India. Okay, there are many things like a foreigner has to stay in India these many days to file or to get any facility or any scheme being allotted to them. So these kind of barriers the government of India has lifting up. So it's a good thing. And also amending the government of India also amending the patent law, patent system in a manner where to attract more foreign investors. Okay. If we are having IP developed and if we can attract foreigners to invest in our research, then foreigners will come to our country, they will invest money, they will involve in production of that particular product, whereby again the economical growth will be there, employment will be created to the people of India. So like this, there will be almost no poverty in the country. So that is the significance of IP. Okay, that poverty can be eradicated slowly because by creating employment to everyone of all kinds of education degrees. Okay, and also as I told you, in recent year, government is facilitating various regulations and policies also are being. There are various welfare schemes being set up by government of India. Okay, see, as a student level, if you are trying to protect any invention, there is 90% of rebate of patent filing charges to you. So like that, many schemes are there. Okay, and if you have a patent in your hand, you can get loans from the banks also. So there are various other points which you can avail and get benefits out of them. Okay, so as there is a thing in the mind to various people that few people think that IP is a huge thing, it is a burden and it is a costly affair, but not. It is nothing to do with a cost affair. Okay, it will indirectly or directly, it will help you in many ways. See, if your college is having any patent, then what? Your glory will rise. Okay, you will get that particular fame, and you can get in collaborations with some industries also in any field of science. Okay, with like that, employment will also be created. That industry people will come, they will work, or they will pick up that a few people to their industry, and they will make you work there by providing employment. Okay, so this can happen. And if you take this particular example, Tata Group, see, there are many companies in India in all the fields of sciences, not just motor, mechanical, for that matter, even pharmaceutical also. Let us take an example of Biocon Pharmaceuticals. They all were very small people in the beginning of their story, but by working on inventions, by protecting them on time, and by getting into various collaborations, even Biocon also, they have many patents, and they were involved in collaborations with many companies, even out of India also. So like that, they got that particular revenue to run the business. Okay. And the other advantage is, see, if you are running a small company, okay, and if you have a patent protected, what will happen? Many shareholders will get attracted to you. They will come and they will buy the shares of that particular company. With that, what will happen? The capital will increase. Okay, you will get that revenue to run the business. Okay, not just that, you can also attract investors also, other investors also, apart from shareholders. So like this, the importance of patent is not just with companies, it is important for academics also, and for small investors also, and for small scale companies also. For anyone, protection of IP is very, very important because it is all the result of the brain, right? So a lot of thing or stress will be there to design a research work. So if you protect it, and if you really see, after protection of patent, you should not sit quietly, because let me tell you, 95% of the research, patented research, will go waste usually, because many of the companies, they just patent protect their invention, but really don't work upon it. They just keep it for just a namesake, okay? But not that. That is not correct. Whatever the patent which you get should be involved in commercialization, should be commercialized, and should work. Matlab, in the sense, it has to take the form of a product which should be useful to the people of the country. Okay, only then that is called successful research. Otherwise, there is no meaning in getting or protecting your IP. Okay, so on a conclusion note, I also want to tell you that even see from this slide, you can know that domestic patent filings have been enormously increased in last 11 years. This is the latest survey data. Okay, see, in last 2 years, every nation has suffered like anything due to COVID. The economical growth has fell down like anything, even in US also, right? US, any other country if you take. But we as Indians, having right policies, right strategy, and right awareness about various field of sciences, including protection of them, did not face that thing, right? That crisis we did not face, because we have policies in place and we are implementing it. Now, since past decade, most of the people at the very post-graduation level and even still graduation level also, students are having an idea of IP, what are the significances of protection of it. Okay, so this is bringing out various inventors with strong determination towards development of the country. Okay, and let me tell you that latest our GDP has also gone up to 8.2%, which is much beyond the expectation or expectation. So though the world has seen the crisis of COVID, we as Indians should feel very, very proud that we are producing goods, we are giving services out, okay, even out of facing so many odds. Okay, so on a conclusion note, I want to tell you that intellectual property right protection is very significant, because we will get employment if we protect it by putting industries in place. Okay? And also the ethical standard level of the nation will be raised, not just within the nation, but when compared to all the nations across the globe, the economical status will be elevated. And as I told you that 22-23 GDP has just, we are at the beginning of the year only. Now the GDP has gone up to 8.2%, which is very, very significant thing. So this is the conclusion from my end. And if you have any clarifications need to be drawn from me, please feel free. And over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pushpalata. That was very elaborate and very in a simple manner, and very slowly you had at a student level, you have come down and you have taught the what are the important points of IPR, the basic, right from the basic of terminology, and what are the different types of patents that are involved, and how the research can lead to patent, right? How we can go for the patent filing, and how we can secure our inventions. I think the students got very good information in the IPR today. So any students want to interact with resource person, you are welcome now. Yes, You can put your questions in the chat box. Vaishnavi, please check for the questions, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, no questions from your end, girls. I know Pushpa as my student. I also at this time, I want to just once again tell you that she was my chemistry student, and I'm very proud that she changed her field to IPR. She had upgraded her skills. She learned IPR. She learned all the laws, and she is now the boss of her own company. She has her own startup, IPR startup, and she is filing patents for the inventors. So you can also ask her doubts regarding how she had raised her company, what difficulties she had faced during raising her company, and what is her role during that, and how she had her success story. You can ask at this moment.
I also want to add a note in continuation to the ma'am's statement. Let me tell you that I have started my firm at the very beginning of the COVID, and I have seen tremendous hike in the graph of my work. So COVID, I don't accept all these odds that COVID has done that we have got restricted to online mode only. Nothing. I have not stepped out of my house. I just worked on my laptop. I gathered the clients. I got business. I also earned the trust of the scientists. See, I am not known to the outside people who are working in various companies. Various CEOs and directors don't know me personally, but still I was able to make that happen. I got success by attracting them. I got business from them. See, whatever business I got was highly confidential, because as a patent specialist, I will file the patents of their research work. See, so when they want to outsource, or when they want to give their research work outside, it is a very huge task and risky business also. So in that instance also, I have succeeded, and I was able to, and I managed to do that. I really feel happy, and it is not just my effort. It is a blessings of all elders people, and like ma'am also encourages me a lot. Actually, we got a lot of encouragement from the college level itself. That's why I feel very proud that you are having such a kind and good and encouraging lecturers. So that's the thing happened. And any more questions from your end?
You can just give some more information, Pushpa, about like some of our students are competing for the Smart India Hackathon, right? You can give your suggestions, like how can they compete for it, and what benefits do they get if they go for the apps development? Really, they can do their inventions patent for that? You
Yes,
can give
ma'am.
some information about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. See, first of all, whenever you want to work upon on any idea, you should also look that what all work already been present till date. You should not just blindly conclude your research work. You should do at least a superficial literature search. Okay, so you should. There are various databases, ma'am, which are freely available, which everyone can use to search about the only present patents. So you can use freely available databases, which is there in India also. Indian Patent Office website, you can go and you can search various granted patents information you can get from there. And also the US, please note down USPTO. It is a website related to US patents. And eSpaceNet. It is also a freely available database of Europe Patent Office. So these are the basic, every country will be having a patent office database, which will be free and open for anyone. Okay, so if you are working upon any invention, first of all, you have to get a basic idea by looking at these databases. You please type some keywords which are relevant to your work, and you can see how many references you will get. You just open each reference and you can look into the details of that invention. You can know what are all the points which are already covered. See, if you are developing, you can know what are patents which are already available and what are the loopholes which can be rectified. That will become the basis or an idea for your invention. So you can rely upon those databases also. This is called as patent literature. And apart from this, a non-patent literature will also be there. That is from simple Google or some research publications, etc. Okay, so you have to divide your search, bifurcate them as like this, and you get an idea, you get the basis, and you further move to conclude your research. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, any more? If no questions, I now invite Navya from BSc Data Science to present a formal vote of thanks for the session.
Good morning, one and all. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion of World Intellectual Property Day. I, on behalf of RBVRR Women's College, let me call it Fraternity of IPR, cell here together, and on my own behalf extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our speaker for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. Thank you, Dr. N. Pushpalata ma'am, Head IP and Portfolio, Dr. IP Essence, for guiding us about IP rights, IP role of IPR in development of our nation. I'm also very grateful, ma'am, for her analysis of IPR. We all are here inspired by your great words, ma'am. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to Secretary cum Correspondent Sudarshan Reddy sir, our beloved Principal ma'am, Dr. J. Achita Devi ma'am, Vice Principal Dr. Kavita ma'am, K. Sinduri ma'am, President IIC, Dr. P. Jansi Lakshmi ma'am, Convener IPR Cell, S. Anita ma'am, HOD Commerce. I also extend my thanks to all the faculty members and student participants for their enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Navya. Thank you once again for all the students for participating for this webinar. Thank you, Pushpa, once
Yes, ma'am.
again.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, we'll end the session.
Yeah, ma'am. See you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you all the participants for joining this event and making it a successful event.
Vaishnavi, stop the recording, ma.